Hey, it's Courier Girl, and I wanted to talk about low carb eating on the road. So, I know there's a lot of people that do keto or primal or carnivore diets out there, and I don't do that anymore. I used to be really big into it, but I wanted to share some of my low carb ideas for people who might be interested in that type of thing. And remember, I have a little thermos that I take with me to keep food hot, well, semi-hot. It's not that amazing, but it works for keeping food warm at least. And I also have my Road Pro oven, so those are two different things that I use regularly. Plus, there's cold food too. So, the first thing I want to talk about is hamburger. I know, really exciting, right? So, I always have ground beef that I've just browned up and I keep it in the refrigerator. And that I pair with a lot of different things. I might pair it with cut green beans, that's low carb, cauliflower, that's low carb. A slow carb, but not strictly low carb one, is different kinds of beans. And if you've ever done Tim Ferriss's slow carb diet, that would make sense to you. Let's see, what else do I do? Sometimes I will do cut up chicken or beef. Like if I make steaks and I have leftover, I'll cut it up in small pieces and I'll do it with the same types of vegetables. Or I will also put that in my thermos to keep it warm, and then in a separate container, pack a salad, and then I'll put it on top of the salad so you have meat with your salad. Just want to have a low carb dressing like a vinaigrette, oil and vinegar or something like that to go with it. Let's see what else I do. Cabbage. If you've ever made pigs in a blanket, those are really good. You kind of have to use the Road Pro to reheat them properly. They don't do as well in the thermos, but what you do is you take big cabbage leaves and you blanch them so they're a little bit, they're not so crisp. You want them to be a little soft. So blanching is just cooking them for like a minute. They're not fully cooked, but they're a little bit cooked. And then you roll them up around sausages. You could do link sausages or kielbasa or whatever kind of sausage you like. You could do hot dogs, but it's not as good. And then you stick them with a toothpick, and you bake them. And that's really good for leftovers, or you can bake them in your Road Pro oven. I've also done like a stir fry with beef and peppers and onions and garlic and stuff like that. And that's always good. Reheat it. Let's see, what else can I think of? Oh, lunch meat roll-ups. You can take lunch meat and cheese and just roll it up and put a bunch of them in a container instead of, it's like a sandwich without the bread. That works really, really well. Sometimes, because I don't drink coffee anymore, I will just take warm chicken broth with me. That's another really good one. Now, you want to make sure that your chicken broth doesn't have a lot of extra stuff in it. So if you buy it, check the ingredients, or you can make it yourself, which is just the juice from cooked chicken, right? I've also taken cooked asparagus and rolled roast beef around that. That's really good. You just reheat it, or you stick it in your thermos hot. It's not as good as if you reheat it in your Road Pro, but it is really good. Now, asparagus is pretty low carb, but it's got a lot of fiber in it, so I think that it's low carb enough for me. Let me just say that. Mushrooms are low carb, so I might do some kind of mushroom thing. Mushroom and beef, that's always good. Onions, mushroom, and beef. And cheese, it's like a Philly sandwich, but without the bread. So I find that to be really good. I have done some of those like Atkins frozen meals in the Road Pro oven, but when you do your own cooking, after a while, that stuff just doesn't taste very good to you. You can like taste the chemicals in it. So I don't like to eat those unless I have to. I've also been known to go through the drive-through and get like a roast beef sandwich or a hamburger, like a double or triple hamburger, and just throw the bun away. I've been known to do that as well, but I'm trying to think of more things that you can pack and take with you, or prepare ahead of time, or prepare on your Road Pro. So let's see. Just thinking of what else. Cucumbers and pickles are always good. They can be a little bit messy. So for the pickles, I dry them out first, or I make sure that I'm in a place where I can drain them really well so they're not getting all over the place. You could do a leftover zucchini and summer squash. That's a little bit higher in carbs, but it's not like having a potato or anything, which is really high in carbs. Let's see what else. Not thinking of anything else. I'm sure there's a lot more out there. So how about this? Why don't you put your suggestions in the comments below so that other people who are into the carnivore or keto or paleo thing can come up with some lower carb ideas for their own meals. Now, like I said, I am not strictly lower carb anymore. Instead, I follow what's called a low vitamin A diet. And I'm not going to get into that here because that's not what this video is about, but maybe I'll make another video about it in the future. Okay? That's it for now. Happy driving, and I will see you on the road.